el saxophone. Un aplauso, por favor. I hit that jam, jam. I put it in your pocket till I get back. Time and time waits for no man, and I ain't got time. Shouldn't go.
Hi everybody, this is Jack Wyant with CredibleInformation.com. We're here on Sunset at the Los Globos Club.
My name is Elisa, stage name Miss Marquez. I'm a burlesque performer out here in LA and also the artistic director of Marijuana Madness.
Marijuana Madness is the show that we're about to see here at the club.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Marijuana Madness! Presented by Miss Marquez, powered by Graston. The true story of marijuana prohibition during the jazz era.
Then tell us a little bit more about this very unusual show.
Absolutely. So Marijuana Madness is a burlesque and live jazz show that tells the true tale of cannabis prohibition during the jazz era. I've been performing burlesque for about 7 years now, and I'm a lover of classic jazz music. I have the privilege of performing with some of the most talented jazz musicians here in LA. And when I started to dive deep into the history of jazz, I realized it was so closely tied to cannabis and the prohibition of cannabis. And so I was really inspired to create a show, especially in the year we live now here in California, where cannabis is recently made legal recreationally, and I felt like it was the perfect opportunity to kind of showcase how we got here.
Back to Storyville, New Orleans, 1900 and a long, long time ago. Back when jazz was called jazz. Back when this stuff that they got set up here was dirty, disgusting, lascivious, sensual, sexual, dirty, disgusting. Dirty brothel music.
Yeah, my partners Grass-Fed are a really amazing cannabis event company. It's Tomer and Dan, and when I developed this concept for a show, I had no question in my head that I would want to partner with them because they really curate really special cannabis events that are treated more like a wine tasting. It's more cerebral, and it's about elevating your experience with this show.
But it's a natural. I mean, it's a natural. The events that they're doing, plus this show, jazz and marijuana and the history of it. I mean, it is, like you said, it's intimately connected, and so it's perfect.
Yeah, and two, I think it's important to change what social environments we're able to consume cannabis. You know, like you can go to any bar and have a communal experience with people, but there's not a lot of social ways to consume cannabis, and so that's what we're really trying to do here is provide a very classy, sophisticated way to socialize and enjoy cannabis.
Yeah. Well, I really want to talk with you about the dancers and the show and music and so forth. Let's start with the music.
Absolutely.
Tell us about the band that's going to perform.
Yeah, so this band I've been working with for about 6 years. I've gone overseas with them to Japan, to the Fuji Rock Festival. So we have some road time with each other, and really great improv musicians. So all of the performance you'll see as far as the burlesque goes will all be improvisation. Because the way I approach burlesque and the way the burlesque performers I have in my cast, it's all about being the fifth additional instrument. So no choreography, just being in the real moment of it. And all the music from the show is all from the era, so 1920s, 30s, and 40s. It was really important for me to use the classic music from the time. And yeah, I consider myself so privileged to be able to share the stage with these musicians.
How many performers?
So there's 4 band members, a classic jazz quartet, and a host, and 2 burlesque performers, and there's also a couple surprises in there too. It's important for me to tell the tale and not just have themed acts where people get a sensibility for the era, but like I have quotes, that were spoken in Congress, that led to the prohibition of cannabis. We talk about Louis Armstrong, who had his whole history of it, was arrested here in LA at the Cotton Club and in the LA jail, So, it was really important for me to tie in all that history. I'm also a huge history buff, so it was a great excuse to dive into all of it also.
Well, and you said you've been doing burlesque for about 7 years.
When I moved to LA, I got signed with an agent, and when you're new to LA and you're signed with an agent, you go on every single audition they send you on, and burlesque just happened to be one of them. Interestingly enough, it was for a woman who had a burlesque troupe. Her name is Dakota, and she is the other burlesque performer tonight.
There you go.
So she became my mentor. She took me under her wing, and I learned a lot from her. And so now it's great to kind of like have her a part of my show also, and be a part of, like you said, it's really a community here in LA.
Miss Dakota.
Yeah, I'm very privileged to be able to say that pretty much 5-6 days a week I'm doing burlesque in some way.
Let the church bells ring, ding dong ding. If you a viper. Dream the Mad Reeefers talking on. Mighty man, but not too strong. You'll be high, but not for long. If you a viper, she's the queen of everything. Gotta be high, special to her name. The bells ring my name. If you're a viper, boy, you know you're dry if you just can't try. Drop on down to the candy store. Pop your top on peppermint candy. Yeah, now you know that you are high. Everybody, they gotta try. You are high, and so am I. If you a viper. dreamed about a reefer, 5 feet long. My name but not too strong. You'll be high, but not so long. If you're a viper, she's a queen of everything. She gotta be high for her to do her thing. Oh yeah. Let the bells ring. Hold on a second. Ding dong ding. If you a viper, well you know I'm high. I'm gonna try everything you can do. Pop on down to the candy store. Bust your top on peppermint candy. Now you know that you've been sent. Don't even know if I can take a rest. You are high, so am I. If you are like
What is burlesque? How do you define it? How do you describe it?
Yeah, I think burlesque is really hard to define. And for that reason, I've looked it up in the Webster Dictionary, you know, and according to, I mean, don't quote me on this, but it was used as a style of comedy
Yes.
during like the Shakespearean era.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I do think that there's a lot of, even though nowadays you have, like myself, very trained professional dancers that are into burlesque. I don't think you necessarily need to be a dancer to do burlesque, but there's just those little nuances about being a stage performer, knowing comedic timing, knowing rhythm, and knowing how to work your audience. That are very...
if you a viper, if you